Whenever you're ready.
Good morning, my name is Stephanie Rodriguez and I'm on the affirmative side for that the U.S. should grant or that should adopt an immigration reform bill. We're going to focus on three claims, which are the significance, inherency, and the solvency. Our significant claim is that immigrants are vital to the U.S. economy. And our inherency claim is that the current efforts to keep immigrants is ineffective, so might as well just give them immigration reform, because either way they're going to find a way to get in, whether we have border security, whether we have our border patrol, make a bigger fence, they're going to find a way to get in. And then, so just might as well give them legal status here, since they're vital to our U.S. economy. So, because the immigrants are vital to our U.S. economy, a lot of people are on the negative side would advocate that we deport them. But these undocumented workers would cause a considerable loss to the U.S. economy in terms of real GDP, so the gross domestic product. According to Goodman, a journalist from The Hill, in 2009 study by the Center for Global Trade's analysis of Purdue University that examined the effects of the U.S. economy of three different scenarios, control found that the mass deportation of undocumented workers would cause a considerable loss to the U.S. economy in terms of real GDP. He also stated that the deportation of all documented workers would cause a real GDP, a loss in the real GDP of 0.61%. Legalization, on the other hand, would have positive effect on the real GDP, regardless of border control. Also, they say that immigrants will cost the U.S. more money because they will take advantage of welfare programs, but in reality they don't. According to Fitz Marshall, a writer for the American Center for Progress, demographers Randy Capps, Michael Fix, and Everett Henderson compare welfare participation rates of illegal permanent resident immigrants to the native born. When controlling for income, they found that immigrants had similar, if not lower, participation rates than natives in the three main social programs, welfare, food stamps, and Medicaid. Immigrants are vital to our U.S. economy. They don't take jobs away, which many do believe that they do. If anything, they create jobs for U.S. American workers, and these immigrants are working jobs that most people aren't going to want to work. Most Americans don't want to work. So in reality, they're not taking jobs away, because in the first place, Americans don't want to work them. They're not willing to work these hard labor jobs that pay low wages. According to Steven Zanister, who's an agriculture economist, immigrants are extremely hardworking and often take 2 to 3 jobs to support their family, both in the U.S. and abroad. Immigrants often fill labor-intensive jobs that Americans are not choosing to do. They create growth for American workers. Stephen also stated that, on average, immigrant workers increase opportunities and incomes of Americans. High-skilled immigrants are very entrepreneurial and drive a lot of job creation. A 2010 Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco study suggests that even low-skilled immigrants have had a positive effect on their native counterparts, boosting productivity and stimulating investment. They also immigrants are vital to our U.S. economy. They say that immigrants will affect our education system and devalue it, but really immigrant high school graduation rates have increased. According to Pew Research, greater shares of immigrant adults have high school diplomas today than in the year 2000. Also, if we grant legal status, children of immigrant parents who have legal status do better in school. According to Frank D. Dean, professor of sociology at the University of California, Irvine, the implication of our findings is that clear pathways to legalization can boost American education attainment even as late as the third generation. And then according to Pew Research, every additional foreign-born student who graduates in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics and remains in the U.S. creates an estimated 2.62%. So an estimated 2.62 American jobs. So by not allowing these people to pursue educations and just deporting them and not giving their parents legal status and making them go back to their country, we're taking away engineers, people who, engineers, people who have a great impact in our upper education, like in our jobs that require upper education. Immigrants, people think that immigrants aren't interested in becoming a part of our immigrant society, but they are. Immigrants want to assimilate to American society. Fitz Marshall, writer for the Center for American Progress, stated that immigrants believe in the American dream. The poll reported that more immigrants than natives believe that hard work and determination are the key success in America, and that fewer immigrants than natives believe that immigrants should be encouraged to maintain their own culture more strongly. He also stated that immigrants want to become proficient in English and do learn English. Only 3% of long-term immigrants do not speak English well. They also contribute by paying taxes. So they boost our economy by paying taxes. Without immigrants, it will affect our economy. So on average, immigrants, including the undocumented, pay nearly $1,800 more in taxes than they receive in benefits, which also goes back to the fact that they don't take more benefits than they pay in taxes.